When there are many worlds, you can choose the one you walk into each day. The single most powerful element of youth is that you don't have the life experiences to know what can't be done. This body is fragile. It is just flesh. Listen to the heartbeat. Life depends on the pumping of a muscle.
If at first you don't succeed, remove all evidence you ever tried.
Don't tell me about your God with your words. Show me about your God with your actions. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass.
We swallowed the chaos because we knew we didn't want to be ordinary.
Taking pictures is savoring life intensely, every hundredth of a second. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. Smile at strangers, and you just might change a life. Now and then it's good to pause in our pursuit of happiness and just be happy. Any fool can be happy. It takes a man with real heart to make beauty out of the stuff that makes us weep. It's a rare gift to know where you need to be before you've been to all the places you don't need to be. Whatever happens to your body, your soul will survive, untouched. In order to make a precise decision, keep a steady spiritual connection.
Amid the turmoil and tumult of battle, there may be seeming disorder, and yet no real disorder at all.
Calmer you are, the clearer you think.
For them to perceive the advantage of defeating the enemy, they must also have their rewards.
Without causality in the world, there is no point in educating people or making any moral or political appeal.
History, Stephen said, is a nightmare from which I am trying to awake. Men don't need linguistic talent. They just need courage and words. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive.
Life is very short, and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friends.
The big lesson in life, baby, is never be scared of anyone or anything.
Success is a state of mind. If you want success, start thinking of yourself as a success.
If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. There are not more than 5 primary colors, yet in combination they produce more hues than can ever be seen. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience.
We'd met at a carefree time, a moment full of promise. In its place now were the harsh lessons of the real world. Sometimes, as we're stumbling along in the dark, we hit something good. Gamitin ang puso para alagaan ang taong malapit sa iyo. Gamitin ang utak para alagaan ang sarili mo. Always be like a water. Float in the times of pain or dance like waves along the wind which touches its surface. If you possess enough courage to speak out what you are, you will find that you are not alone.
There's nothing more frightful than ignorance in action.
It doesn't matter what we are, it matters what we do.
If you derive joy in destroying others, you won't go far in life. Be willing to leave the ground behind if you want to fly. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university.
Nothing important is learned. It is simply remembered. Life is essentially an endless series of problems. The solution to one problem is merely the creation of another. Common man's patience will bring him more happiness than common man's power. Don't go broke trying to impress broke people. This had seemed a safe choice, since to be against the Beatles is to be against life. Two things define you: your patience when you have nothing, and your attitude when you have everything. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. Life is too short or too long for me to allow myself the luxury of living it so badly. Go ahead and believe that no one shines brighter than you. Become amazing and be happy. Of everything you could be and everything you do, the greatest thing of all, Henry, is simply to be you. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Ideas have endurance without death.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Just remain in the center, watching, and then forget that you are there. Honest is how I want to look. The truth doesn't glitter and shine.
The true hypocrite is the one who ceases to perceive his deception, the one who lies with sincerity.
Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. When you change your thoughts, remember to also change your world.
When people try to tell you who you are, don't believe them. The point of modernity is to live a life without illusions while not becoming disillusioned.
Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles. There is nothing frightening in the dark if you just face it. Everyone's greatest fantasy is to walk away from the life you lead.
You're always with yourself, so you might as well enjoy the company.
True words are not fancy. Fancy words are not true. The good do not debate. Debaters are not good.
I would have offered you a forest of truth, but you wish to speak of a single leaf. To achieve peace, it is crucial to eliminate unnecessary bureaucracy that prevents peace processes from advancing.
We may be small and we may be young, but we will shake the world for our beliefs.
Sacrifice a few years of comfort for decades of freedom.
Everything is relative in this world, where change alone endures. That it will never come again is what makes life so sweet.
If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. Sometimes being alone is the best medicine to your soul. If you want to triumph in life, you must persevere. It is an ironic habit of human beings to run faster when they have lost their way. People have boldness to criticize, but not to sensitize.
To subdue an enemy without fighting is the greatest of skills.
Take responsibility of your own happiness. Never put it in other people's hands. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. All our knowledge has its origin in our perceptions. However beautiful the strategy, you should occasionally look at the results. The way to make your dreams come true is to start believing in them. What you focus on and the way you think will determine the way you live. The more you try to please people, the more they get control of you, and you'll end up hurting yourself.
The only time you fail is when you fall down and stay down.
When one door of happiness closes, another opens.
He will win who, prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared.
Winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is.
If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
It doesn't get better by overthinking. It only gets better by working towards eradicating your problem. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. We may regard certain days as free days. Free days are, however, fee days. We will pay later. Es ist nicht genug zu wissen, man muss auch anwenden. Es ist nicht genug zu wollen, man muss auch tun. We are the cosmos made conscious, and life is the means by which the universe understands itself.
Sometimes your circle decreases in size, but increases in value.
To be independent of public opinion is the first formal condition of achieving anything great. Use the wings of the flying universe, dream with open eyes, see in darkness.
What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease.
I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university.
Remember, if you play small, you stay small.
I have made a ceaseless effort not to ridicule, not to bewail, not to scorn human action, but to understand them. You are confined only by the walls you build yourself. I was within and without, simultaneously enchanted and repelled by the inexhaustible variety of life. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. The mind is like a restless monkey, but with practice and detachment can be tamed and made peaceful. I knew who I was this morning, but I've changed a few times since then. When you're too tired and feel like giving up on life, sit down and ponder over the journey of water.
I think there is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, then that is softness of head.
There is nothing in this world so hard to get at as truth, and there is nothing in this world but truth that I care for. I am the truth, since I am part of what is real, but neither more nor less than those around me. Fierce language and pretentious advances are signs that the enemy is about to retreat.
Feeling guilty does not set us free. Being equipped sets us free.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The act of taking the first step is what separates the winners from the losers. It is not by believing, but by doubting that one can attain to the truth, which is ever-changing form and condition. The average passenger eats enough calories to keep them weight gain a year old for a week and a half. It is foolish to tear one's hair in grief, as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth. If there never was a night or day and memories could fade away, then we'd be nothing left but the dreams we made. Where your talents and the needs of the world cross, there lies your vocation. Guard well your thoughts when alone and your words when accompanied. Your conscience is the measure of the honesty of your selfishness. Listen to it carefully. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it isn't so. Lies do not lie, truth do, in the times of any act lie hidden behind. At the end of the day, let there be no excuses, no explanations, no regrets. Nothing is ever complete. You just have to get it close enough that it makes you happy.
We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. Dream big, stay positive, work hard, and enjoy the journey. Birth is not the beginning. Death is not the end.
A home filled with nothing but yourself. It's heavy, that lightness. It's crushing, that emptiness.
When we embrace who we are, the world embraces us right back.
I am ignorant of absolute truth, but I am humble before my ignorance, and therein lies my honor and my reward. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. Become totally empty, quiet the restlessness of the mind, Only then will you witness everything unfolding from emptiness. What you do not wish upon yourself, extend not to others. If you're jealous of someone else, it simply means you have not come to a true acceptance and appreciation of yourself.
If I work hard enough, there will be things I can do tomorrow that I can't do today.
If you wake up tired, you've been chasing dreams. If you go to bed tired, you're making your dreams happen.
Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. The more you face challenges, the less you fear them.
If you do not tell the truth about yourself, you cannot tell it about other people. To know you are ignorant is the beginning of wisdom. War is not just the shower of bullets and bombs from both sides. It is also the shower of blood and bones on both sides.
Darkness ages faster than you'd think. It doesn't loiter on forever.
The most important day in your life is the day when you come to realize who you really are.
We can't become what we need to be by remaining what we are. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. We all have two lives. The second one starts when we realize that we only have one.
For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me want to dream. Life will never conform to all of our desires, ever. Gotta get out of the basement. I've got to see the world. I've got to make a difference.
If they don't like you for being yourself, be yourself even more.
Your rebel soul shines like a diamond pulled from dust, bright, clear, and flawless.
You don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for.
You often feel tired, not because you've done too much, but because you've done too little of what sparks a light in you.
If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading.
Life equals running, and when we stop running, maybe that's how we'll know life is finally finished. Words don't have the power to hurt you unless that person meant more to you than you are willing to confess. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Take note of how people treat you after you say no to their demands. You cannot score a goal when you are sitting on the bench. To do so, you have to dress up and enter the game. The greatest blessing granted to mankind come by way of madness, which is a divine gift.
A traitor's just a patriot on the wrong side of winning.
It doesn't matter how smart you are unless you stop and think.
I don't paint dreams or nightmares. I paint my own reality.
Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. The goal shouldn't be to make the perfect decision every time, but to make less bad decisions than everyone else. The question is not how to get cured, but how to live. I believe that words are strong, that they can overwhelm what we fear when fear seems more awful than life is good. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure.
There is no truth, Stephanie said mistressly. Only perspectives. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. Understanding that rests in what it does not understand is the finest. Despite the heart-numbing frost, my soul is blooming like spring. We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it.
The Master said, "A true teacher is one who, keeping the past alive, is also able to understand the present." True potential is realized when we stretch, when we choose to go beyond our present perceived capability.
There is no greater danger than underestimating your opponent.
Nobody will save you, some can't even save themselves. Owning land is like owning the ocean or the air. No one owns land. My heart is too thoroughly dried to be broken in a hurry, and I mean to live as long as I can.
The truth is the kindest thing we can give folks in the end.
Life comes from the earth, and life returns to the earth. Yet he who reigns within himself and rules passions, desires, and fears is more a king. Whenever you feel bad, remember all the good days you've had, and be happy again.
Faithless is he that says farewell when the road darkens.
Truth has nothing to do with the conclusion, and everything to do with the methodology. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, not a part of your destiny. If the moment is everything, then everything is time. Dreams don't work unless you take action. The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them. History is idle gossip about a happening whose truth is lost the instant it has taken place. To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Wisdom is to speak the truth and act in keeping with its nature.
So shut up, live, travel, adventure, bless, and don't be sorry.
If you have not done things worthy of being written about, at least write things worthy of being read. Person is wise if he listens to millions of advice and doesn't implement any of it. Never hold tightly onto the past, because it will only limit your ability to move forward.
Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are.
Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. The reason I talk to myself is because I'm the only one whose answers I accept. Once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. I am not afraid to die. I am only afraid of saying goodbye to you forever. I never expect a perfect work from an imperfect man. People will not remember what you did for living. They will remember how you touched them with kindness and loving.
If you can dream it, you have the innate ability to make it a reality in your life.
Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. There are many things worth living for, few things worth dying for, nothing worth killing for.
What keeps life fascinating is the constant creativity of the soul. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone.
We fall, we break, we fail, but then we rise, we heal, we overcome. Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes. There is beauty everywhere. Even in the dark there is light, and that is the rarest kind of all.
The search for truth is more precious than its possession.
Failure is when you give up. A real winner is someone that doesn't give up, even when it feels like they are losing. Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted. I don't know why we are here, but I'm pretty sure that it is not in order to enjoy ourselves.
And when all the wars are over, a butterfly will still be beautiful. If at first you don't succeed, destroy all evidence that you tried. He who requires much from himself and little from others will keep himself from being the object of resentment. Hats have power. Hats can change you into someone else.
If you're making mistakes, it means you're out there doing something.
Don't be afraid of enemies who attack you. Be afraid of the friends who flatter you.
It isn't a sadness, but a joy that we don't do the same things for the length of our lives. Sometimes it takes years for a person to become an overnight success. It was hard to live normally when you were constantly pretending you didn't see what was going on in front of your face. Don't find fault, find a remedy. Anybody can complain. Don't ruin a good today by thinking about a bad yesterday. Let it go. Any war that requires the suspension of reason as a necessity for support is a bad war.
Truth is what your contemporaries let you get away with. Find ecstasy in life. The mere sense of living is joy enough.
The seeker embarks on a journey to find what he wants and discovers along the way what he needs.
An investment in knowledge pays the best interest.
I think that if the world were a bit more like Comic-Con, it would be a better place. The friends you make in college are friends you'll have for life, even if you don't talk for years at a time. Some want to live within the sound of church or chapel bell. I want to run a rescue shop within a yard of hell. To make a true choice, we must have true knowledge. Because even if the lie is beautiful, the truth is what you face in the end. It is not easy to keep silent when silence is a lie.
I'm going to try speaking some reckless words, and I want you to try to listen recklessly.
What we cannot bear removes us from life. What remains can be borne.
The penalty for procrastination is the loss of hopes and dreams.
In reality, there are no persons, only threads of memories and habits. At the moment of realization, the person ceases. There's no solution to life. There's going to be problems no matter what. Listening stops with the ears, the mind stops with recognition, but spirit is empty and waits on all things. Enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. Impossible things are really rough to do, you know.
It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer.
You are in charge of your own happiness. You don't need to wait for other people's permission to be happy. The world is a prison in which solitary confinement is preferable.
The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master.
Time throws you out of its dimensionless planar like a boomerang. It unites with you again in death. Live and act within the limit of your knowledge, and keep expanding it to the limit of your life.
Learn from who you were, appreciate who you've become, and carefully invest into who you want to be. All paths are present, always, and we can but choose among them. Conformity teaches us the value of our precious worth.
We will all pass through a sorrowful stage in life. When it's your turn, don't let the storm sweep you away. The flower that blooms in adversity is the rarest and most beautiful of all. Every story I create creates me. I write to create myself. The essence of life does not consist in the lushness of your possession, but in the richness of your heart.
Men do less than they ought, unless they do all they can. War is a matter of vital importance to the state.
It's the glasses that do not fit the nose, not the nose not fitting the glasses. The more ways you can tell a story and paint a picture, the better it is. You are where you are right now because of the actions you've taken, or maybe the inaction you've taken. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for.
Even if you are on the right track, but just sit there, you will still get run over.
Divide your success in small pieces. easy to manage failure, easy to achieve success. Don't be pressured by the society, because no matter what you do, you won't be perfect. Why not just be yourself? The aim of life is to live, and to live means to be aware, joyously, drunkenly, serenely, divinely aware. Religious structure often dilutes the spiritual experience.
The most important decision you make is to be in a good mood. If you believe very strongly in something, stand up and fight for it.
If what you seek is truth, there's one thing you must have above all else. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow. Don't ever trust men with good intentions. They'll always disappoint you. Leo. Oh, what a tangled web we weave, when first we practice to deceive.
Life doesn't require ideals. It requires standards of action.
Nobody is wired wrong, because there's no wrong and right in the way we are.
The men of old breathed clear down to their heels. For we can only know that we know nothing, and a little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Many people pray to be kept out of unexpected problems. Some people pray to be able to confront and overcome them.